In this video, I will talk about how to set up a loop to process a series of data. As an example, I'm using this Excel file. It's a very simple set of data, containing names of the states in the USA. So we know the data count is 50. However, in many business processes, you can have an input data file that contains an unknown amount of data, or the amount of data varies every time. From that, let's say you must enter that data into, for example, an online system. In this case, you need to set up a loop, which repeats the data entry process, for a specific number of times, according to the input data amount. How do you do that? I will show you here. Let's open Stew. Now, this is what the scenario will look like. First, you start with some function to take the input. In this case, I use a drag and drop plugin, because it's very simple. But of course you can use email attachment reading, or you can use folder monitoring, or any of those triggering tools. This drag and drop is going to store the file path into this variable, and I just give this variable to my Excel Advanced tool, which is the main piece in this scenario. Excel Advanced is a plugin tool, and you'll find it here under Plugin Official Group. Using Excel Advanced tool, with this variable from drag and drop as the input here, I'm reading this data. In this case, I have set it up to read 1000 rows with this parameter. You can of course go A:(A), but that will take a longer time, so I'm putting A1 to A1000 here. The important part of this Excel Advanced setup is this return value. I have selected CSV here, so that the data will be stored in the memory of the bot, with a format of CSV or table, which can be used by the following operations. Now, you give the CSV a name here. I gave the name states. This name can also be registered as the variable's group name. As you may remember, variables in the Argos platform come with group name, and the variable name sandwiched by these curly brackets, like this. So in this case, I have a CSV variable named states. I also uncheck this box that says, first row contains column header. Meaning, I don't have a first row containing column headers here. By unchecking this, my variable names will be the column name, capital A, just like the standard Excel sheet like this one. Therefore my variable would be states, dot, capital A, in curly brackets. Now we have our data in the memory. Let's go back to Stew and process this data. I have run program, which will start Notepad as my target application. And then, I have the repeat operation. Now, I'm using this CSV variable right here. And added this function in parentheses, count, all in capital case. This tells the repeat operation how many lines of data this CSV contains. By having this variable with the count function here, this scenario will repeat these two operations for the specific number of data that was contained in the input file. Now, the repeat operation also has this advanced menu. Please open and check the Use Index option. Index is like a counter, and it is going to start from 1 with increment 1. The counter value will be stored in this special variable rp.index, right here. So, with this variable, I can actually extract one specific data from CSV. Now inside my repeat loop, I have two text input operations. They are going to type my data into Notepad. The first one is just typing the index, with the extra space after it. The second one will type the state name from the CSV stored in memory. Please note that both of these text input have pasting option checked, so instead of keying in character by character, it will paste the entire string at once. Just like Ctrl V. This scenario is ready to run. Please note that it is okay to leave the Excel file as open when you're using Excel Advanced in a read mode. On the other hand, when you use Excel Advanced in the write mode, you will have to close Excel file, otherwise, it's going to give you an error. Now, starting with drag and drop box that Pam just opened, I'm going to just drag and drop my file. It reads the file, stored data in memory as CSV, and writes to my notepad, just like this. As you can see, the data is being pasted line by line. It's going to take a minute. Now it's done. As you can see, this text input doesn't have the line feed over here checked. So the next text input started with the same line. And this one has line feed checked, meaning that the carriage return is executed at the end of one input.